Ooh, ooh, ooh. Something right up my alley. Fucking hell, guys. What more ammunition do I need? Fucking hell. Viktor Orban. Wow. Now, I'm just going to preface this here. I don't usually go into foreign matters. Not because I'm a xenophobic person, not at all. But this channel is supposed to be about British culture and politics. And a pagan view of it. Or a leftist pagan view of it. British pagan view of it. But I'm making this because, I couldn't help myself. I'm really sorry, but I couldn't help myself. Wow. Viktor Orban has been recorded saying, what was it? Let me 2 seconds. It was absolutely hilarious. I could not believe it was a vindication in a way of the behaviour of Christianity still. Where is it? Come here. Oh fuck it, I'll go that way. I don't know if you guys have heard, but Viktor Orban turned around and said that something. He was in America, I think, and yeah, there you go. I think this is it. And he was saying about Christians or something. There's no thing as a Christian minister who lies. Something along those. I'm trying to find it. It was really. I could not believe what I was. I just could not believe it. It was really scary. Oh, come on. I have a problem here. But it was fucking. I've been saying for a long time that the Christians treat them, they consider themselves above the rest of us. I'm sure it was earlier. I watched this. Where is it? 2 seconds.
From TLDR News.
Yes, I was watching this on TLDR News, by the way. Great news channel. I will put a card up there somewhere. Independent news channel that was put up by by uni students, I think. Just DLC. Gotcha. Right. Yeah. This was ridiculous. Hear this.
Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban, the world leader who undoubtedly sounds the most like Gru,
but we have a different future in mind. The globalists can all go to hell. I have come to Texas.
That just for a start, like, what the fuck are you talking about, you retard? Sorry, I really shouldn't say that, but it's backwards.
Yesterday addressed Republicans at their CPAC conference. It was only a couple of weeks ago that he caused huge controversy at home and abroad by claiming that Hungarians do not want to become peoples of a mixed race.
That's another thing. And this guy is trusted by... Oh, what?
On the back of this statement, one of Orban's longtime cabinet advisors resigned, calling...
And yet, like, no, this guy was... From what I can gather, this guy resigned. He's being treated like a traitor. How reminiscent of what's going on here, eh? Just when he didn't address the scandal either. It was. I think this is it.
address this scandal, although at one point he does say a Christian cannot be a racist, a likely allusion to it.
Don't worry, a Christian
This.
politician cannot be racist.
He also
Oh, right. Now, excuse me. The amount of lies proven by politicians who are Christian that have been penalised for it, you can look this up, is ridiculous. And Viktor Orban, of all people. It's a superiority complex that's been made cultural. That's why I'm getting into this. That's why I brought this up. To me, this is just as scary as some of the other stuff I've been talking about, coming from British politics. Yeah, but it's an indictment on America as well, that this fucking racist can go over there and be cheered for statements like this. The ignorance in the world leaders. Christians don't lie. Give me a fucking break. I've been challenged by Christians trying to tell me that the world's only 6,000 fucking years old. These people are stupid. Either that, or they're being willfully ignorant. Which is it? Or both, maybe. It's dangerous, whatever way it is. And these people are in charge. They want to be in charge. Other people want them in charge. Why? This man is in charge of an entire nation. And this is supposed to be, at the age of liberalisation. Show me the evidence of this. Is ridiculous. Alongside the comments made by Rishi Sunak and Liz Truss over the past few days, as well as Donald Trump and Boris Johnson over the past few years. It's like we can't move on from the 20th century. How far through this century do we have to get before the 20th century is less of a factor? Or even the 19th century. There's some... I mean, look at Jacob Rees-Mogg. This is who's in charge of Hungary, I believe it is. And he likes to... anyone who tries to tell me that these guys aren't racist. From what I can gather, this isn't the first time this guy has made ridiculous statements. As the TLDR boy said then. Just to make sure this is not that wasn't my stuff, that was their stuff. They do really good stuff. Please go and check them out. This unbiased news. At least from what I've seen. I go to them more often than any of the mainstream news channels. And then I used to watch a lot of different news channels, and then I just came down to Sky News because the other ones were too biased. Sky News has some bias, but at the very least I've seen them rip Tories to pieces, and I'm happy to see it. So yeah, I'll be putting the card up. There's going to be a link to their video, to their channel at the end of the video. But yeah, this man is a public speaker. You know, why can the left not speak in public? Why? Because it's the right that are in charge. The political spectrum's been shifted further right, so even if you're only just centre of left, you are now far left. In their eyes, anyone who's on the left is a communist, is a socialist, is an extreme socialist, or an anarchist. Fuck off. Look, if everyone's supposed to be allowed to have their own opinion, then why can't we? And they tried to pin us. They tried to have a go at us for pinning them down and ridiculing them when they fuck up. But when we try to do the same back, when they do the same to us, like, oh, what right? You know, do one, lefty. No one cares about you. It's superiority complex on a societal level. And if you're going to try and tell me that this isn't at least in large part born with an E on the end, by Christianity and the other Semitic religions, and well, in terms of the cultures, I'd like you to prove it to me, please. Because all the evidence I'm seeing is that even as we evolve, these people refuse to. They are evolving, but they're being dragged through it. You know, look at the different splinter groups. Do you believe in evolution? No. What are you on about? It's the hypocrisy. That's what gets me. You know, I might be pagan, I might have some a faith, but I'm not stupid. The facts are that the Earth is 4.6 billion years old. 6,000 years old. The human race, human species, sorry, is fucking more than 100 times older than that. That's the arrogance. And it's horrible because it's it's affected the way people think in day-to-day life. You can see evidence of it if you look for it. Even if you don't look for it, like just if it's obvious, now I've pointed it out, you should notice it. Viktor Orban is the latest evidence of this. Did you hear them cheering him? Fuck. Christianity is not growing as nearly as fast as pagan numbers, especially in Britain. I don't know what it's like in Hungary. You know what? I'm going to check that out. 2 secs. Pagan population. I don't ask about population anymore. Hungary. Let's have a look. What percentage? I'm not sure. That's 2005. That's way too far back. Let's try demographics of Hungary. I'd be interested to know just how life, ethnic group, language, non-Hungarian. Let's try that one. No, maybe not. Yeah, no, that. Yeah, okay. So, religion. Boom. There are many that did not wish to answer in their list. It seems to be Orthodox Christianity. Catholicism has the largest percentage, so the most of them are Roman Catholics. So, this once again is 2011. So, I'm having that. There's got to be a better. That's from 2020. What does this say? Pagans, Slavs, Hungarian folk beliefs to extent of mythical figures. So. It's quite interesting. There seems to be, their Slavic traditions. The Hungarian folk tales with the giant tree. Well, I wonder what that's reminiscent. Sky high tree, tree of life. Ooh, I wonder what that is. Is it Egich Erofa? I think that's what it says. Or Élitva in Hungarian, I think. That's what it looks like. The shamanism aspect. Totemism, see, now, I talk about totems, right? And whenever I talk about totems, I get told it's a North American thing. Fucking do one. That still doesn't say about the... there's a... Maybe it might be that the Survive the Jive guy might know more. I can't seem to find any... Hang on. Just add 2022 onto that, see if it says anything. This might have something actually. Bad researching. So, Hungary in 21 had roughly 9,638,162 people. 9.6 million people. Demographics. So, religion. It's like 2% of the population. 2% of a population of 9 million. So yeah, their paganism is a cultural thing. The Christianity probably adapted that, just like it did in Western Europe. Again, you'd be probably better off checking out doing your own research. But no wonder that there's not a large population of pagans in see, you look for it for the UK, and once you get you're given statistics from 2011. I wonder what it says about Muslims, eh? Should we see what it says? Oh, I immediately get an answer. 9% of the population of the UK is Muslim. What about Christian? Let's have a look. It just kind of proves my point. Well, I don't know. It's saying that it's dropped off a cliff. My God, it fell by 12.24%. That's quite a drop. Yeah, it's all in 2011. Even back then, paganism was seen to be growing fast, and I've seen plenty to say that paganism is still growing fast, and yet the Christian population is dropping. But they all still try to tell you that they're superior. That's what ultimately that's what I'm getting to. Is this superior mentality from the Christian. It's not. I was. I should preface this. It's not just Christians. This is Christian right. But I've noticed this kind of attitude in most Christians, even if they don't recognise that. Even if they don't mean to be, even if they don't recognise they're being it. When they try to convert, that is passive-aggressive move. You will believe what I believe, so I'm going to try my best to convince you to believe what I believe. Right. And whenever I've had this, it's always come down to personal experience. Oh, I've experienced this. Yeah, well, I've experienced speaking to the ancestors. Oh, that was just... No, don't tell me what I experienced. I experienced it. I'm not telling you what you experienced, am I? But that's the arrogance. And, you know, I'm looked at as petty for speaking up on this stuff. You know, oh, it's the pagan picking on Christians. No, I'm pointing out their abhorrent behaviour. Because this is a group of people who claim to be of the light and goodness. And yet the biggest proponents of them are guilty of really big crimes. Moral crimes. Ethical crimes. According to their own standards as well. They are massive hypocrites. But because it's an establishment religion, it just gets brushed under the rug most of the time. Now, in this country, they're clinging on. It's like Boris and Carrie clinging on to the fucking wallpaper in Downing Street. They're clinging on despite the fact that their numbers are falling. And falling year on year. I wonder why they're panicking. We didn't completely disappear, but, you know, since the 60s we've come back, and we've come back hard. And, you know, since the Religious Freedoms, the Religious Freedoms Act, 2 seconds. It's good to double check yourself, isn't it? Sake. Let's have a look. 1998 Human Rights Act protects freedom of thought, conscience and religion and affirms Article 9 of the European Convention of Human Rights, which the Tories want to take us out of. So not only... oh, gods. So, not only do these asshole cunts want to, you know, remove us from an international court. It's not, it's called the European Convention of Human Rights, but it's an international thing, okay? And they want to undo the Labour government's, the last Labour government's work. Oh, and the evidence. Look for it. I just put Religious Freedoms Act into UK into Google, and considering all the stuff we've been hearing from the Tories about removing ourselves from the European Convention on Human Rights and the European Court of Human Rights, and I've been hearing a lot about this Human Rights Act that they want to change. They call it update, but it's not update it. They want to degrade it. That's what they want to do. If you look at what they really want to do, they want to degrade our human rights. Why do we put these people in power? Oh, because I didn't trust Labour. Why didn't you trust Labour? Whenever I asked that, by the way, I wasn't given a straight answer. Or at least not a not... When I say legitimately correct answer, I don't mean just in my opinion, I mean actually factually correct. And not factually correct taken out context. I was never given a properly straight answer. But, you know, I can make the judgment myself. Look, We've heard all of their bollocks about the Human Rights Act and how they want to separate us from the European Court of Human Rights, which is essentially removing us from the European Convention on Human Rights. It's funny. It is. It's really, really funny. I don't agree with everything on the left. I believe that we can that the further left you get, the more reactionary you get, the more ridiculous you get. It's the same as on the right. The further extreme you get, the more ridiculous you get. That's kind of, it's almost physics. It's astounding, isn't it? Is it not? Is it not astounding? The level of depravity? Let me know. This is really, really disturbing. It's funny in some ways, but it's really disturbing. And it has affirmed my distrust in the Christian establishment. It's not going to stop me from going to try and debate with these people in a friendly manner. If they're willing to accept to talk to a pagan, some of these religious leaders I want to talk to in my local area, then fair enough. But if I'm going to be treated like this, with this kind of attitude, it's just going to reaffirm what I already know is at least partially true with Christians and other Semitic peoples, because Christians are Semitic. They all come, both Islam and Christianity have their origins in Judaism, so therefore they are Semitic religions. This isn't a racist thing here. This is just stating facts. I don't like what I'm seeing. I'm sure other people must not like what they're seeing. But it's like George Orwell's 1984 book. Or the book 1984. I've listened to that on audio quite a few times now, just to get what just to understand the references that people have been making to it over the years that I've been, I've heard that book being referenced so often over the years without really realising what it means. The Tories and the Tory members are the ones using doublethink. And it seems that the Christians do the same thing. Or at least the Christian establishment does. It's fucking ridiculous. Again, let me know what you think. And I'm going to try and calm down. Har en god kväll.